Hello everyone, Vampire 218 here, bringing you my Week 2 matchup of the UALB Pokemon Draft Showdown Battle League. This week, I, as the coach of the Ontario Almastars, was against PLT, the coach of the Vancouver Venusaurs. So, jumping right into prep, I saw that he was bringing an Aerodactyl, a Heliolisk, and a Heliolisk. Both of these mons, I thought Steelix would cover them no problem. Between the rock type moves, the steel type moves, and the ground type moves, I didn't think these things would make much of a dent in my Steelix. Bronzong proved to be one of the hardest mons to prep for simply because I didn't really have a good fire type to bring for this, so I had to rely on bug moves to just get that regular effectiveness on there. Having a Kyurem Black is really good against Latias because I just have so much power with Kyurem Black that Latias didn't even stand a chance. Charizard went right back to the Steelix. Steelix has the defense to survive whatever Charizard is going to throw at it, and one rock move, and that Charizard is toast. And I know that that's his Mega Charizard X, and when he does that, I have the Kyurem Black to take care of that. Ditto was the mon that I prepped the most for. I put sub on a couple different mons here just to make sure that Ditto didn't turn the match around for him. So we're going to jump right into things here, and you see that I lead off for the Steelix, and he leads out with the Aerodactyl. Now, I'm leading out with Steelix here because I know that my Steelix is able to lay down rocks, but also it can hit pretty dang hard. Being a Steelix, having a pretty good attack stat and a really good defense stat, I'm not too afraid here. So he taunts me, and I actually know that he's going to taunt me. I know that when I see an Aerodactyl lead that I'm getting taunted, so I just go for the Rock Blast here. I'm thinking, this thing's flying. It's going to take quite a bit from Rock Blast. And we see, it does. The thing hits 3 times, and it does about half. He decides at this point, he has to switch out. I'm still taunted, whatever. So I go again for a Rock Blast, and it misses. And that's kind of sucky because I really want to just get the damage onto that Bronzong, but oh well. I realized, this isn't a pretty good matchup for me. I have to go into something that's going to be able to hit that. So, ghost type moves and things on my Xatu. So he sets up Reflex, and I'm fine with that. I go for the U-turn. I'm thinking, U-turn, going to do a little bit of damage, and it does almost nothing. So I'm realizing this thing's got a lot of defenses. So I go into my Mega Scissor. After setting up the second screen, he switches back into Aerodactyl. I'm not too sure why, but I'm able to just Mega here and get off a Swords Dance. I'm not too sure what he's going for, but seeing that Aerodactyl, I am afraid of the Fire Fang, and as I predicted, he does Fire Fang the Xatu, which does, about a 5th, and I'm very glad that I scouted for that. So I just Sucker Punch, and then I take a Rock Slide and almost die. So now I've scouted out quite a few of these moves, so I'm comfortable switching back into Steelix, and he tries to Fire Fang me, predicting the switch, and he takes a lot from the Rocky Helmet. He switches back into Bronzong. I'm okay with this. I go for the Thunder Fang, because I'm thinking, Thunder Fang, probably a guaranteed kill at this range, and, maybe he'll switch into something else. I'm still pretty comfortable going for Thunder Fang here. Goes into Bronzong, I take a Gyro Ball. It does the least amount of damage that it could do, and I'm able to get up my rocks. Being able to get up my rocks here is really important because now I know that he switches in that Charizard, it's immediately losing half. He switches in that Aerodactyl, I'm pretty sure it's dead. He doesn't have to, I know that he has to get rid of these rocks. So now I'm ahead because he has to do something to get rid of the rocks. I switch out into a favorable matchup of Vaporeon here because I know he has to set up whatever, another Reflect, whatever. I swap into Vaporeon and I do a sub. He sets up another light screen, whatever. I'm just using my Vaporeon now to start doing setup because I figure he's going to do whatever. I don't think this thing has enough damaging moves to really take care of Vaporeon, so I just start setting up, getting the setup. Now, he makes a really crucial misplay here, forgetting that Ditto's Imposter cannot get behind subs. So he switches it in and fails to get the Vaporeon and immediately realizes, oh shit, that's what it was. And I just get some free damage onto Ditto. I Scald the Ditto, getting that nice 30% onto it. So now I've brought Ditto down to 60%, and that's pretty good. Having done nothing at all, other than just a Scald, Ditto's now down about a third, and that's pretty good. he's forced again to swap his Ditto into the Latias, meaning more damage from the rocks. And this is really showing you what rocks do. Rocks put in the work. I have at this point done so little and putting in the work. I go for hidden power here. I'm thinking, well, I need to get a good hidden power out. I thought he would actually swap into the Bronzong, so that's a hidden power fire. And he doesn't. He swaps into Latias, so whatever. I'm figuring he's going to have to defog at this point. And he actually goes for a Thunderbolt just to break the sub. So I'm pretty surprised. I go for a Scold. I'm just trying to get the burn on him, and I don't. And it sucks. That's every time at this point I've missed the burns. Seeing that he has Thunderbolt, I have to switch into Blissey to take those moves. But he goes for defog, predicting the switch. So now my rocks are gone, and I'm in Blissey. He goes in the Bronzong. I don't care. I go into Seismic Toss. I know that's probably my only way of killing Bronzong. Seeing what Seismic Toss does is, and that he is now able to get the Charizard out without taking half of its health, he does so. I set up a sub hoping that he doesn't bring in the Ditto to Seismic Toss me back. But he brings in the Charizard, and I'm pretty happy with that. Having Charizard out now, his Reflect is just worn off, and he goes into Charizard's X. And my sub breaks, and I see, so that sucks. But I'm able to get the Toxic off onto the Charizard. And that's good, because I know Blissey's going to live whatever he throws at it. And now that the Toxic's on, he's forced to, he has to make some pretty fast plays, or that Toxic will kill him. So I just swap into Vaporeon just to eat a little bit of damage, and he is forced to swap out into the Ditto. Now, he'll see that my Vaporeon can't do anything to itself. Having Water Absorb, it absorbs Scald and being resistant to fire. Ditto is not able to do anything against the Vaporeon as itself. So we see a swap here. I go back into my Blissey as he tries to Wish Pass. I know what he's doing at this point. He just wants to get that health onto the Charizard. So I'm able to take off about 2% at the end of that, but the Toxic is still on it. So he's going to Dragon Claw, and I take a massive amount of damage here, and I'm actually very surprised at how much I end up taking. But it doesn't really make too much of a difference, because he goes for the Flare Blitz, and I die. He takes massive recoil because of my health investment, and then Toxic's able to kill him. So we make a very good trade there, because I'm willing to make that trade every day. I take care of one of his best sweepers, and I only lose Blissey. That's a score for me. He wants to go into Aerodactyl and Rock Slide, and that's, that's whatever. I flinch. That really sucks, because that would have been a kill there. And he goes for another Rock Slide, and I get another flinch. And at this point, I'm thinking, I can't risk just dying and being outsped. So I go into the Steelix. It gets a Rock Slide. I don't care. It don't do nothing to me. He taunts me, predicting me to go for rocks. But I'm seeing, he's going to taunt me. I go for Rock Blast. And it misses. So he goes into Bronzong. And I really should have gone for Gyro Ball the turn before because of the accuracy. But I go for a Gyro Ball a turn too late. Oh well. He goes into Bronzong. I'm able to go back into Vaporeon. It's just a classic setup. And he decides to go back into Ditto. But Ditto doesn't do anything to itself again. So I'm seeing again, I'll go for the hidden power, whatever. He gets a wish off. That sucks. I get a wish off. That's good for me. A wish is going to be better for me than it is for him. He swaps back into the Aerodactyl. And at this point, I know it's going to be an issue. I know that Aerodactyl I had almost killed is now going to be back up to almost full health. So I have to make quick work. I go back into the Steelix, because Steelix is my answer to Aerodactyl. It can't do anything. And the Wish brings Steelix back to full health, which is good. Again, he wants to taunt me, but he doesn't realize I'm not falling for it. I just keep going for that Rock Blast. And at this point, I'm really not sure why I go for the Rock Blast. It's not Stab, and I think I forgot that at the time. As he realizes Fire Fang does nothing to me compared to him, and I realize that Gyro Ball just destroys him. If I would have realized sooner, I think it would have been a much quicker match. So he goes in Heliolisk, and, I'm wanting to scout just a little bit of what that Heliolisk has. Predicting it having Focus Blast, it works. Now, I have prepped this Kira Black specifically to deal with Focus Blast. It's because I gave it an Assault Vest. So, it had an Assault Vest. I knew it would live 3 hits from that Focus Blast on Heliolisk. He goes into Ditto, which is a really good move on his part, because the Ditto allows him to get my Outrage, and it would one-shot me if he got it off. However, he is not Scarfed. And I know he is not Scarfed at this point. So I'm just able to speed tie, outrage, and one-shot him. And that's pretty good for me, because I know I'm going to have to outrage this thing, but that doesn't even matter. I do so much damage to it, I don't even care. You know, he wants to gyro ball me, sure, I'll take a bunch. But I'll just swap back into my Steelix, take a 1% gyro ball, and it'll just die to the Rocky Helm. And I'm pretty happy with that. He goes back into Heliolisk. I know he has Focus Blast at this point, and there's nothing really I can do. I need to just eat that Focus Blast and get a hard switch into the Xatu. I need to Sucker Punch and just get that damage on there. Because I know, between Latias and my Kyurem Black and Scizor, I know that I can kill the Latias. All I need to deal with is this one Heliolisk. Now what's really interesting here is that he goes for a Volt Switch, and I go for a U-turn. And I completely forget that Latias is part Psychic. I go for the U-turn just to get a favorable matchup into Vaporeon, thinking he's going to go for some weird fighting or whatever move, get a good hard switch back into one of my good Mons. But I completely forget Latias has that Psychic typing, so that U-turn just does so much damage, it just one-shots, and it's dead. And so now I have the priority to switch back into my Dragon. And I'm not sure if I outspeed at this point. I'm pretty sure I don't. But what I remembered is that I'm going to live a Focus Blast. So I stay in, and I live the Focus Blast at 2% because of the Assault Vest. And I'm able to just go for that Outrage and just destroy the Heliolisk, bringing in the Week 2 victory for the Ontario Almastars. I've been Vampire 218. I hope you've liked the match. I hope you like the roster so far. And I really hope that you're enjoying the UALB League. If you've liked the video and you like the content that I'm putting forth, please remember to like, favorite, share, and subscribe for more Pokemon Draft League content.